Howdy folks, John with HillCo here, coming to you with some exciting new updates to our professional series honey uncapping tanks. These stainless steel uncapping tanks have been a mainstay of our honey extracting lineup for a few years now, and we really do well with them. But we've made some exciting new upgrades here, which I'm going to talk to you about. We have our 30-inch model and our 40-inch model, both of which we've been selling for a while now. And now we also have an exciting new 60-inch model, which holds, voila, 42 frames, up to 42 frames. It does not include the uncapping bar in there, but it holds a lot of frames. So these upgraded uncapping tanks feature Beefier stainless steel lids, an improved uncapping bar inside. I'll show you here in a minute. Also improved stainless steel trays that the cappings fall into, which again I'll show you here in a moment, as well as the legs are now easier to put on and take off. All right, so now we're talking specifically about the 40-inch professional uncapping tank, with the specifications and upgrades we're talking about here are gonna be the same exact thing on both the 60-inch and the 30-inch models. So before I forget, the 60-inch model holds a maximum of 42 frames. The 40-inch model here holds a maximum of 28 frames, and the 30-inch model holds a maximum of 21 frames. You might want to subtract 1 frame or so off that number to give you a little bit of space to uncap to, but that is the maximum numbers of frames that these tanks will hold. So some upgrades for this year now, a beefier lid, a couple gauges thicker on the stainless steel lid here, just a little bit beefier for they don't flex as easy, don't dent and ding quite as easily as they would have before. A little bit beefier all around. The legs themselves now have knobs with built-in nuts to make them easier to install and assemble, so you don't have to mess around with some washers and other bolts and wrenches. They just slap right on and you're good to go. So the only assembly really required on these tanks now is simply to slap these legs on, and again, all you got to do is put on those 2 knobs per leg, what total of 8 knobs, and you are set to go. So very quick and easy assembly. The honey gate is just like before, a nice stainless steel welded honey gate mounted high up enough off the floor to fit a 5-gallon bucket with a strainer in. On the inside of the tank is a nice flush welded fitting, real even with the bottom of the tank, so you get a nice clean, easy drain of honey out into your bucket just the way you want it. So let's go inside the tank now and check it out. One of the best upgrades, I think, with this new tank design is the uncapping bar. So I'm going to slap it in here and show you how it works first of all, in case you don't know. So the uncapping bar has a sharp point on it here, and the idea is for, as you're uncapping, you grab your frame, you set it on top of the pin here, and you uncap, be able to spin it around real easily, uncap again. So the bar here gives you a pivot point, a place to set your frame on, and then when you're done, your frame goes in the tank like this to allow it to drain honey off as you're waiting to extract. So a couple other features. This is a little bit heavier duty. Now has a welded pin, so those pins before would kind of come loose sometimes. If they were a screw and just had a nut on the bottom, sometimes that nut would come loose, the pin would want to come loose. Now it's nice and welded and firm in there, and it's not going to come loose on you. The uncapping bar as well, I love the way it mounts now. So you have it just sets in there, but you got a couple of set screws here that you can adjust, and so it's just easy to take it in and out. And you can take a wrench and adjust those set screws to tighten it up outwards a little bit to get that bar in there firmly like you want it to be as you're uncapping. But easier to take in and out, easier to get it really tight and nice. I really like that feature. And then come on in here. As you can see, just like before, a V bottom, and the tank slopes slightly towards the front of the tank, towards the front. The back is higher than the front to easily get your honey drained down into your bucket just like you want to without a bunch of obstruction. I really like these new grates here. They're a finer mesh screen, and so you got more surface area of holes to be able to drain the honey down more efficiently from the cappings, but also they are now split. There's 2 of them. So before it was a big long tray that it was a little bit more cumbersome to take in and out, especially when you had some cappings, there's some weight on it. So these here split trays are easier to handle, easier to clean, easier to work with all around, easier to take in and out. As you can see, they just fit in here like this. And that's another thing about these new ones too. It's a much tighter fit of your trays. There's no gap around the outside edge where cappings could potentially fall outside the screen. These things are going to catch them all. So fantastic tanks here, as always, type 304, food grade stainless steel, fantastic 3-year warranty. You're going to love these tanks. We got a size for every need here. Check them out on our website, www.hillco.buzz. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.